Hello, good afternoon. And it is the 7th of January 2026. And I did try and do a live video a few days ago, which was not about moving house or having a shit landlord or meeting a bad with Borough Council and how they have not supported me at all, really, to be honest, with my homeless application, just like with many people who are facing homelessness due to the new rules that are coming out in 2026 that are supposed to protect tenants from being evicted. So Section 21s will soon be abolished. So anyway, I'm here. I'm still in the property that I've been renting for 9 years. I've just noticed, I just put my hand on the wall. It's almost the same colour as the paints. I didn't realise how pale my skin really is. Maybe it's just the light. I'd like somebody to make sure that I'm not going completely mad and that my hand is practically almost the same colour as magnolia paint that most landlords will use. So anyway, I'm in the corner and I have got the gentleman from P3 visiting me tomorrow to talk to me about how they can continue to support me with my homeless application. Which, if everybody had done their job properly in the first place, I would not be where I am now. Things would have changed. But I am where I am, and it is what it is. So, I think I can do about that. And the first thing I noticed was, where's he going to sit? He's coming to a property where for the past 12 weeks, because my Section 21 wasn't legal, I've been trying to empty the house. So instead of doing what I was going to do initially, which was box everything up, pay for a truck to just move everything in one go, I've done it in situ. So I've gone through the property and I've moved everything that was valuable in the first week. In the second week, anything that was sentimental. I mean, you're probably thinking, why sentimental after valuable? Well, put it this way. If it's valuable, you could sell it and then you would have money. Sentimental, as I've found now being in my 40s, no one really gives a shit about sentimental stuff anymore. The amount of auctions I have been to in the past 12 years, and you see war memorabilia, vintage photographs, nanny's pearls, there was actually this is your life, I'm not joking, there was 10 boxes of this person's life where they had managed to chronologically do their family tree, yeah? So as much as I hate Harry Potter, and it's not because of J.K. Rowling, it's not because of the author, it's just I've never been a fan. When I was told to watch The Order of the Phoenix with my children, because I have 3 kids, and I saw the family tree on the wall in the house that Harry goes to. I don't even know whose house it is. And on there you've got like Bellatrix Lestrange, who I like because I'm a huge fan of Helena Bonham Carter. And then obviously you've got his uncle, well, it's not his uncle, isn't he? Isn't he like his godfather? Sirius Black. I was trying to think of, I killed Sirius Black. Yeah, Sirius Black. I thought, bloody hell, if this guy had done that in his house, he would have needed like a 10-story building. And I was looking through it and it was heartbreaking to see all this sentimental stuff just in an auction. And I see it so many times. And there's me saying to my ex-partner, yeah, we had an argument on the phone today. I'm going to throw away this pillow. No, you're not. It's scummy. It's old. It's shit. It's dirty. It's disgusting. No, throw away the pillow. Don't throw away the pillowcase. Why? Because the pillowcase is like a £15 pillowcase. No one's going to pay £15 for this pillowcase. Yeah, not now, because people haven't got enough money in the bank to pay £15 for a pillowcase. Hence the reason why I'm telling you not to throw it in the bin. Because it's my pillowcase. It's my pillow. And it was one of the first pillows, this is going to sound really, really disgusting, that I brought when I was a teenager. I went to Wellesbourne Market with my parents, and I had £5 to spend. £5. God, I'm going back over 20 years when £5 was a lot of money. Okay, believe it or not, having £5, bloody hell, was like having the equivalent to £200 in your back pocket back then, I would say. Maybe not, I don't know, however you classed inflation. I had £5 and I brought this pillow, and I loved this pillow, and this pillow has been in my life ever since I was about 12. So the age my son is now. So he's at the age now where he's getting pocket money, he's able to buy his own stuff. And his dad's like, it's a pillow, for fuck's sake, it's a pillow. Buy a new one. I don't want to buy a new one, because a new one that size isn't going to cost me £5. It is going to cost me £35 or £45. And I'm going to have to go to somewhere like John Lewis or Dunelm Mill, where I used to work, and I don't really want to go back in there, thank you very much. So please do not throw away the pillowcase. You could throw away the pillow, just not the case, right? The case is so big that I have actually got stuff in my property from when I used to make things that will fit in that pillowcase. So that way, instead of it being a bag of stuffing, it's going to be a pillow, a new pillow with foam stuffing that's safe to use in upholsteries in 2026. Bullshit. Don't make no difference. Doesn't matter how old your furniture is. You put a match next to it, it will burn, okay? So all this making sure things are flame retardant and not gonna set alight and set your house on fire, bullshit, okay? Trust me. If something sets on fire in your house and you don't think you could put it out within 2 seconds, run, okay? Don't pretend you're a fireman and try and save your furniture. At that point, I wouldn't save the pillow, okay? I'd be like, the house is on fire, fuck it, I'm gone, yeah? Isn't that what housing contents insurance is for? Sorry? Housing contents insurance? I thought I had it, but maybe I don't. But, you know, it could be replaced. So, anyway, so first week, things I can sell, things that have value, they've gone. Second week, sentimental shit. Third week, furniture. Okay, I know it sounds bad, but the one thing that you don't want to be doing when you are made homeless is having to give away everything that you've owned and everything you've earned to pay for the things you own. Because the moment you find somewhere new to live, the last thing you want to be doing is sitting on the bloody floor. Okay? Don't get me wrong, I did do that. I did that with this property for 6 months. We had no furniture. I did it in my first apartment for about 2 months. I had no furniture. Okay, but when you're in your 40s, the last thing you want to be doing is trying to get off the floor and get up again, all right? As much as I want to be fit and healthy and flexible and be like one of these women on TV that, you know, is climbing bloody Mount Everest in her 80s with an oxygen mask, which is hers, by the way, not the one that they've given her. It's her own personal oxygen mask that she's been given by the NHS in the UK. And she's gone, oh, I'm going on holiday. I need more oxygen. How many tanks can I take on a plane? You know, I don't care how much it's going to cost for extra luggage. Just put the tanks on the plane, all right? So there she is, oxygen mask, walking sticks, walking up bloody Mount Everest. You know, fuck you idiots. You know, I made sure I brought my own. I'm not waiting for some twat to tell me that the cylinder's been empty for an hour before another one turns up. So there she is, walking up fucking Mount Everest. I do not think I'll ever be one of those grands, I'm afraid. I am not going to be super granny. I am not going to be one of these grands who's able to walk Mount Everest at the age of 95. I'm not going to be one of these amazing Italian grandmas or Polish grandmas that my friends have shown me photos of. who, you know, they're there and they're still very able-bodied and they're walking up and down all these steps, these stone steps in these beautiful, undiscovered Italian villages or parts of Poland that hopefully do not get invaded again by Russia. That is not going to be me, all right? I know that for a fact. So I have tried to keep at least one piece of furniture. So today I brought down 2 items from upstairs myself, just so that when the gentleman from P3 turns up tomorrow, he's got somewhere to sit. And I'll tell you what, it has absolutely killed me to bring these items downstairs. I was trying really, really, really hard not to move them unless I had to. They can't be used for firewood because they're MDF. Believe it or not, they are not proper wood. And I will talk about them another time. And I've managed to bring them downstairs. I've emptied them, and being a woman, I made sure that the stuff that was in the boxes was already in bags. So there was me panicking, thinking, oh my God, how the hell am I going to get these boxes downstairs? I'm going to be spending an hour folding up bedding that is in these boxes. Opened it up. All I had to do was pull out the bags. 1 bag, 2 bag, 3 bag, 4. Empty. Slid them down the stairs. Picked them up and put them where I wanted them to be. Who needs a man? You know? But I'm telling you now, it has just been absolutely mentally and physically exhausting trying to rehouse myself and my children and to try and move everything out of this property. And one of the things that has really annoyed me the most is my ex-partner. He always says to me, why haven't you got someone else to help you? And the bottom line is, I haven't. I'm not bullshitting anyone when I say that. I genuinely haven't. There was an article online about a woman, I never read it, I just read the title, who said, I've been made homeless twice in a year, and it is really showing who my true friends are. And that cannot be any, I don't think you say further from the truth. That is just so true. All right, everybody who knows me, and I don't mean like in the street, hi, how you doing? Yeah, I'm okay, how are you? I mean, people who genuinely know me know that I was threatened with a Section 21 in October last year. And not one person has offered to help me move. The only person that has helped me move is my ex-partner. Now, I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing, because you will help me move. Which is quite harassing in a way. You know, it's one of the reasons why we're not together anymore. Domestic violence, it works both ways. It's not always the man. Sometimes it is the woman, and I will admit that. And I've gone, you will help me. You will help me move this stuff. Why should I help you? I don't live with you, but you've got children with me. And that box there is your son's. It's not mine. It's your child's. So he's like, okay, I'll help you move. But only if it's the children's things. So I went around the house looking at everything, go, right, what could I get my ex-partner to move for me, but make out that it belongs to the kids? So the beds, they were the children's. I'm not lying, they were the children's. The clothes, they were the children's. The toys, they were the children's. You know, so there's a lot of stuff that's gone to my ex-partner because they are the children's things. As to whether they will stay there very long, I don't know, but they have gone. Anything that's mine, he's refused. He's gone, no, I'm not moving that. I'm not moving that. I'm not moving that. And then I've gone, oh, but you need a new desk for the office. You know, why not use mine? It's better than the one you've already got. Get rid of your old desk, have mine. So I have managed to get a lot of stuff moved by my ex-partner, who I am really appreciative of, by the way. He is a fantastic dad, because I've made him look at what the thing is and think, you know what, if I move that and I put that in my office or in my house, she ain't going to get it back. She's not allowed in my house. She's not allowed in my office. So it's been a bit of a win-win. I've not had to pay anyone to move anything, and I've not had to make sure everything goes to landfill. So the charity shops, they had a job lot of stuff. The week before I found out my Section 21 wasn't even valid. My children's stuff has gone to their dads. So they didn't get anything for Christmas. They were like, well, you've not bought us anything for Christmas. No, because I've just given you 10 boxes of toys that have been hidden in your room for 2.5 years that you've never played with. Happy New Year. Be grateful. So nobody got Christmas presents this year. We don't celebrate Christmas anyway, we celebrate Yule, but that's beside the point. And again, clothes. I need new clothes. No, you don't. I've just found 10 packets of pants, 10 packets of socks, 10 packets of T-shirts that you have not even took out of the packet, that you've hidden in your room. Now they're at your dad's. Use them, wear them. If they don't fit you, give them to your brother. And then if they don't fit him, give them your other brother. And then when none of you fit in those clothes, I'll buy you new ones. So my 12-year-old did get new clothes, but the other two, they got the hand-me-downs, reduce, reuse, recycle again, reuse again. So I am where I am, but it has been really, really frustrating. And I'm trying to see the funny side and the humorous side of actually moving to try and keep a little bit sane. But one of the hardest things is having to do it by yourself. And I just think, if somebody genuinely said, I need help, it would be great if somebody would help them. But that doesn't mean you just let anyone in your house, okay? Oh, I've lived and I've learned with that one. Let's not talk about that. But you want to be safe. So, like I said, I managed to move 2 pieces of furniture by myself without a man. And I swear, this is why so many people that I know who are older than me, even when I was younger, they were older than me, they had their children, and then they became lesbians. And when you ask them why, not everybody tells you why, but one of the answers I was actually given by a lesbian, she was the feminine one. It was so stereotypical. She was beautiful. She had this beautiful red hair that cascaded down her back. She had the delicate features. She looked like she had just stepped out of a pre-Raphaelitic painting that had been painted by Rossetti. I'm not joking. That is how beautiful this woman is. I'm not a lesbian, by the way. And then her partner, Nikki, I always her name was Joanna. So Jane, yeah. She was the typical brunette, big, butch, drinking lager, very common, with this beautiful, feminine, delicate flower who has 2 children who are older than myself. And when my ex-partner at the time was my partner, he asked her, he said, come on, Joanne, you're bloody beautiful. Why have you turned into a lesbian? And she went, because I can't be doing with a mess. That was her answer. I can't be doing with the mess. Not only that, Nikki, she's bloody brilliant. She never swore, by the way. She was always very polite. I've never heard her swear in my life. She was like, if I ever need anything doing, Nikki will do it. Nikki will do it. Nikki will do it. And I can see why she's done it. I really, really can. I have a sister, and whenever I need anything moving, even though she's not helped me this time round due to personal reasons, so I do forgive her, she is built like a brick shit house, my sister. She'll pick up. She is, the best way to describe my sister is the oldest sister in Enchanto. The one who can pick up all the furniture and move the cows and everything. That is my sister. And I know if I'd have rung her up and said, are you working today? Can you come and help me move this furniture? She'd have just gone, where do you want it put in? Downstairs. Yeah, all right, move out of the way. She would have just picked it up with 2 hands and took it down the stairs for me. Just like that. Just like that. So I had to do that twice just because it was weird. But every man I know, apart from my ex, of course, who I've emotionally blackmailed into helping, oh, I can't help you, I'm working. Oh, I can't help you, my shoulder hurts, my back hurts. Oh, I've got a health condition, which means I can't carry anything. Really? Really? But you got a car, you drive, yeah? So I'll put the stuff in the car and then you can drive it to storage for me. And then I will come with you, get it out, and put it on a trolley and take it to my storage container. Oh, no, I can't do that. Why not? Because I'm not available. The car's broken. I have had every excuse from a man, other than my ex, as to why they cannot help me move furniture in my house. I have one friend who is on crutches, bless him. He's we haven't spoken to each other for a while, and even he said, I cannot help you move house. And I'm like, but you've got a car. You haven't got to lift anything. All I need is 4 wheels and an engine, okay? And so when my ex hasn't been available, I've had to get taxis and I've had to pay for removal vans. So I've been in the same situation as everybody else, pretty much, who's moving. But it is just unbelievable how many people out there who you think are your friends, who are going to help you and support you when you're in need, and they don't. I mean, I have one friend who's a landscape gardener. I used to be a landscape gardener. And I said to them, I need the garden at the property that I'm renting trimming. You haven't got to use the lawnmower. All you got to do is literally scalp it down to the earth. How much is it going to cost me? I haven't got time. You haven't got time. I've given you 6 months notice. And I've asked you, can you please fit me in to trim the grass in February? I haven't got time. And it's like, really? I just can't. Why don't people just be honest and say, Katrina, I don't like you really. I think you're a fucking bitch and I don't really want anything to do with you. I put up with you, but don't expect me to help you when you need help. But they won't. Because they don't want to hurt my feelings. Well, I think somebody pretending to be your friend when they don't really want to be your friend is more evil than somebody actually turning around and saying, I don't like you, I think you're a fucking cow. And sometimes, I know my ex-partner he tells me as it is. But like, you all right, bitch, how you doing? Yeah, I'm all right, fucking bastard, how are you? We have that kind of love-hate relationship, which is why we're not in a relationship. And it would just be so much easier if other people could be that honest. But, they all try and do the whole, don't take this the wrong way, but... And the moment someone says that to you, they're going to say something that they're going to call constructive criticism or some crap. So at this moment in time, digressing again, I would love for somebody to help me move the furniture in the property. I'm even happy at this point to donate it to charity, but I know with what's left, I can't give to the charity because of the age of the furniture. Sorry, my hand's just gone dead. And and what it's all made of. So they would be excellent for people that obviously upcycle furniture. So I'm going to try and list them on social media again, see if anybody wants them. But if everyone's being Section 21, no one's going to want furniture because I haven't got a house. So, yeah, I don't know what to do about that one. But anyway, I'm going to go now because I've been speaking for almost half an hour and I don't really know how much of this was of any interest to anybody. But again, if you know of someone who's moving a house, offer to help them. Don't just let them struggle because it is mentally and physically and emotionally exhausting to constantly have to relocate your life. And I even said to my ex-partner, if it hadn't been for me having children, I probably would have just lived out of a backpack. because I wouldn't have purchased half the stuff that I've purchased because I have kids. You know, I'm not going to be buying size 10 to 12 underwear for myself. More like size 20. Yeah. So, again, you know, I have been hoarding stuff that wasn't even mine. It was my children's. And I know when I used to watch Cock One, he'd say things like, oh, you don't need all these clothes. You only need about 3 items. Yeah, try telling a child that when they've got autism and sensory processing disorder and they want to change their clothes every hour on the hour. 3 items is not going to help them. Or every time they get something dirty, it has to go in the wash machine. So it works in theory, but not in practice, okay? Anyone who's had a newborn baby knows that once a punami happens, you ain't going to put those clothes in the wash machine. You're going to put them in the fucking bin. Just make sure you don't put the baby in with it. But I mean it. You know, when people tell me that they've had punamis with their kids, I know exactly how they feel. The worst one I ever had with my kids was when you put them in the car seat. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I really feel sorry for any parent that's had to go through that. Where my little boy, we got his new nappy on him, we put him in his onesie, we put him in his trousers, we put on his t-shirt, we put on his jumper, we put on his little coat that does up, and then that's about how much of the child you see, you know, because you don't want them to get cold. So what you can see is his little eyes poking out from under the hood. Put him in the car seat, which was still on the narrowboat, because that's where I was living at the time, and all of a sudden... And I just remember looking at his dad and thinking, fuck, what the hell was that noise? It was awful. And all of a sudden, I am not joking, the whole of the car seat started to drip with the most disgusting colour of shit you can imagine. It was like this really bad yellow. So why we painted his living room yellow, the colour of baby shit, I really don't know, to be honest, but it does look quite nice. And we had to completely strip the child down, disinfect everything, and it was, I guess we're not going out in the car today, are we? No. So we did the traditional, get the baby, put them in the sink. Yeah, we have sinks on narrowboats. Used to love our sink. It was quite a deep sink. It was, I forget now what type of sink it was. But a really nice one anyway. And there we were, laughing at me. Ooh, it's so funny. Ooh. Not knowing why he was laughing. It was probably just had wind. So telling parents to not have spare t-shirts, shirts, trousers, socks, pants, shoes when you've got kids. I'm literally opening doors and there is just clothes after clothes after clothes after clothes. And you never can find what you're looking for when you need it. Mom, I can't find my shoe. Why wasn't it with the other one? I don't know, but I can't find it. Mom, I can't find my coat. Right. Which one can't you find, considering you've got like 5 hanging up on the back of the bloody door? So, in a way, I've been quite relieved that a lot of the children's stuff has now gone to their dads. And I'm hoping he'll sort it out with them. And say, right, get rid, recycle, charity shop. Because all the clothes are now in one location. And it helps. So when parents do divorce or live a separate life, you always end up with double of everything. Because I guarantee you, when your ex-partner brings your child to your house and they're there standing on the doorstep, hi, Mum, or hi, Dad. Okay, where are your socks? Oh, I forgot to put them on. Oh, right, okay. Where is your jumper? Oh, I couldn't find it. Right. Where is your coat? Dad said he couldn't know where it was and I didn't put one on. Right, so it's a good job that we've got spares at Mum's or spares at Dad's. Because otherwise, my plan to go to town with you today isn't going to happen, is it? If it's pissing it down with rain and you've decided to come in your shorts and your sunglasses and your hat and a vest. So that is why it's been so hard for me to move as well, because of the doubling up of everything that I've had to do. And one of the good things about where I live in Nuneaton, and I've always said it to people, even you cannot find what you're looking for, as a last resort, please don't do what he did in Jack and Sarah, and that is put the child in a bloody envelope with a sock on her head. They got away with it because it was a movie, not because it was real life. I would have just took the kids down on the bus as they were, and I could have gone into any charity shop in town, and I probably would have found the clothes they needed for under £1. So there is that option, but it doesn't look good when you're sitting on a bus with a child who's half dressed, gurning like this. Hi, my dad forgot to dress me today, so my mum's got to take me to town to get some more clothes. You can hear it in your head. Social services on speed dial on some of these old people's phones that are on the buzzers going, hello, hi, I'm an anonymous phone caller. I've just seen a child on a buzz and they only looked like they were wearing their t-shirt and pants. I think you need to go and check this person's house to make sure they're being looked after properly. Where do they live? And I don't know what it is. They always seem to know where you live, don't they? It's like they've got spyware outside your property. And it's, oh, we've had an anonymous caller. Have you? Really? An anonymous one? Oh, really? And they always seem to say the same thing. We heard you've not been dressing your child, or you've not fed your child, or what was the other one? We saw your child running out in the street unsupervised. And I'm thinking, well, it's definitely not one of mine then. Mine's chained up in the basement. No, I'm joking. I don't have a basement. All right. But it's what you feel like. That's what I feel like saying to these people when they ring me. It's, well, it couldn't be my child, because my child is practically tied to me 24/7 because of their SEN needs. They need 24/7 care and 24/7 supervision. So thank you very much for your concern. Goodbye. But anyway, enough of that. Enjoy your day. If you want to make any comments, please feel free to do so. And I'll post this online. There isn't really anything useful about moving house today. It was just me sort of venting a little and talking about shit. So if you did manage to watch to the end of this video, congratulations. And if you didn't, I don't feel bad. I'm just, sometimes it just pays to talk into your phone for some strange reason and then put it on social media. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe, be well, take care of you, because no one else will. And like I said, if you want to make any comments, please feel free to do so. But please bear in mind, anything that is rude or disrespectful to myself or anyone else will be removed. Thank you very much and enjoy your day.